To Downing Street this week, our political editor Faisal Islam. Faisal, welcome again. Reports of yesterday's Brexit War Cabinet meeting suggest, or give us an insight into the sort of modus operandi of the Prime Minister to listen without necessarily declaring where she stands. Go on, you've been distracted.
Well, Jacob Rees-Mogg has just turned up outside number 10, and I know that that's an important thing for many followers of politics, and he's handing in a petition. I think that says something about foreign aid. Mr. Rees-Mogg, you're live on Sky News. What's all that about? What?
We've just been delivering a petition on behalf of Daily Express and Daily Express readers who are concerned about overseas aid being too high and not being well spent.
Do you not hear measuring the curtains?
No, I wouldn't dream of being so presumptuous. I hope Mrs May goes on for a very long time as our wonderful Prime Minister.
Now, hang on a minute. The Japanese investors are inside, and they're the sorts of people who are quite worried about leaving the customs union, which you think we should definitely leave. What if you were in there with those Japanese investors who were made a promise by the Prime Minister, by Margaret Thatcher 40 years ago, that the UK would be the hub for Europe? What would you say to them?
I would say it's a fantastic opportunity for Japan. We have punitive tariffs on Japanese cars coming into the UK, 10.2% plus VAT. So if you want to buy a Toyota that is made in Japan, you have to pay 12% more than if you buy a Peugeot that probably won't work. So there's great news for Japan that we should be out of the customs union and we should be a proper free trading nation.
But they'd have to potentially pay tariffs for all the parts that are shipped into Sunderland and the cars back out again and all that sort of stuff.
They wouldn't have any tariffs on parts coming into the UK because that would be under our control. Why on earth would the UK put tariffs on parts coming into the UK? That wouldn't be sensible for any government. If you're talking about finished products, do you really think the EU, which in the Treaty on the European Union says it wants to promote free trade across the world, is going to arbitrarily put on tariffs to damage itself? Well, it could, but it would be cutting off its nose to spite itself, and I think that the EU isn't that unintelligent.
So you just missed half the cabinet leaving after the subcommittee. Are you confident that things are going in the direction that yourself, the Brexiter grouping, the European Research Group, wants to take things as regards Brexit?
Well, I had a brilliant speech by the Prime Minister last night at a Conservative event where she made it clear that she's sticking to what she said in Lancaster House, that we will be out of the European Union, out of the customs union, out of the single market. So I'm fully confident that what has been promised is being delivered. And
just lastly, it was a restricting foreign aid budget petition.
It was a petition of Daily Express readers who want to ensure that the foreign aid budget is properly spent and are not in favour, as I'm not in favour, of the 0.7% target.
0.7%. Well, thanks very much for that impromptu interview there with Jacob Rees-Mogg. I wasn't expecting that. It's been quite a morning and an afternoon now.
You didn't frankly have the balls to put country before party.